Sifu Raphael is the founder and host of Coaching Call, Heroes Rising, The Sear Show, and New Tip Daily. He works with individuals, groups, and businesses and helps them find clarity, purpose, and understanding of who they really are in business and personal life. Sifu Raphael has used his skills to develop a variety of multifaceted businesses in the martial arts and fitness industries. He owns and operates a 10,000 square foot martial arts and fitness facility in New York. Jose Escobar is an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker, published author, and sales professional. He leads compelling, high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs and advanced leaders through his two business models, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy. He is also the co-host of Heroes Rising.
Happy Friday, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on Heroes Rising. We are super excited. Jose's on another call. He should be in a couple of minutes. But I got it. Oh, there he is. He is the man coming through. Everybody, thank you so much. Jose will bring you on. There he is. Ta-da. Whoop. And there he is again.
Hello, Jose.
What an exceptional
Jose.
Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining us. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Wonderful. Great to be here.
Yeah. Jose, how you doing, my friend?
All is well. So my wife is out of town, and I'm on daddy duty with 5 kids and winning calls and here with you guys and changing diapers and feeding people. And isn't it exciting?
See that? It's never. I got to tell one to everybody who's maybe listening or not listening, who's going to watch it on the replay. It's never a dull moment at the Escobar house.
No, it's not.
Yeah, speaking of a hero, that's a real hero move. Being able to juggle all that today while being on here, impressive, my friend.
Yeah, no, I just changed. I fed them lunch, changed 3 diapers, and then I ran up here, had a call, and now I'm with you guys. And then we're gonna go downstairs after that. So it's exciting. It's fun. Never complaining, right? I had a mentor of mine who once said to me, Jose, whenever you're stressed out and you're dealing with the kid thing and the wife thing and the busyness thing, and all you got to do is pause and tell yourself, this is my complete joy and pleasure. And then you'll get
Listen, you have 5 kids. That's a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure, man. That's amazing. Yeah. So congratulations. Let's get this show started. So I want to talk to you guys about a gentleman that I met recently. And I got to tell you, I think he and I somehow are related because we have so many of the same values. So Kofi Annan is a brand strategist, technologist, advisor, and investor with extensive experience in shaping the growth of established brands like PUMA. Hey, I wear PUMA, man. I love PUMA. And Mercedes Benz. Kofi's known for his expertise in helping brands navigate the rapidly evolving tech-driven landscape. That's a lot to handle, man, and you do it so well. His work has been featured in publications such as the Wall Street Journal and Entrepreneur Magazine, and he is sought after as a speaker at prestigious events, including those at Harvard and the United Nations. And now here. What? We are honored to have you, my friend. How are you?
So I'm doing very well. Pleasure to be here, but on a wonderful Friday to have this conversation and inspire some of our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. So the stage, we're going to give you the stage is yours. We're going to put you right up there. All you, my friend.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. As Raphael mentioned, my name is Kofi Annan. I was born in Ghana, West Africa. And one of the reasons why that I always start with that is, well, besides the name, is also that it helps bring forth the ethos and it tells you about who and where I am from. And that statement and that positioning is kind of what I also talk to a lot of the clients that I work with. As Raphael mentioned, I've worked with a lot of big name clients, but I've also worked with a lot of growing startups, a lot of growing businesses that are trying to make their position in the world. And what I always tell founders and business owners and leaders is that at the end of the day, it comes from where you start. Why are you the person that is bringing this idea, this product, this creative communication, this platform forth? And a lot of times we don't look at that as, kind of what's going to change the market and what's really going to set our product apart, especially if you're a tech founder. But really, it is really about that. And being from Ghana, West Africa, traveling to the United States and having moved around a lot, I've seen a lot of environments where people thrive with their business and a lot of environments and communities that people are looking for leaders in their community, global leaders as well. And they're looking for products that are actually going to help them change their lives. And really, I look at my role as the facilitator, someone who supports those leaders to help them shape their positioning, understand their brand, their value that they're bringing. Besides the product, we all assume that your product is great, but really, why you? What is the nucleus of why you're bringing this product to the market? Helping you refine that, but then also making sure it's connecting with the right people. These days, we have more than enough options in the world. Everyone is really looking for something that really connects with them. So really, when I have conversations with different business leaders who are really shying away from the spotlight and really kind of wanting their product or their or what they're bringing into the world to really stand on its own, I say, no, it's really about the combination of you or your team or whoever that initial idea is. And then obviously the mechanics of whatever the functionality and what you're bringing into the market. And that combination is what brings a brand forward. A lot of times, again, people want the brand or the product to speak for itself, and that's great. But really, again, in the world that we're living in with lots of choices, people want to choose something that resonates with them. And that's where the human aspect of it comes from. As technology is being used to amplify what you're doing, and a lot of us are dabbling with AI, digital technologies like AI and social media and all those kinds of things, and really kind of juggling all those different platforms. It's a lot of stuff to take in. And what I always advise people who are working with me is that it's not about the technology. The technology is a vehicle. How is your brand and your product coming to market? What is that strategy? So that helps clarify and helps focus most leaders to help really understand, how they're able to make that mark in the market, how they're able to stand out, whether it's a crowded market, a local market, or even a global market. I've worked with a lot of different brands. I just recently worked with a waste management company that was expanding along the East Coast of the United States and kind of going into different markets. And again, waste management, there's a lot of big players in that space. But again, the ethos of the owners and the founders and that technology that they're bringing forth was really what we focused on to harness, to bring forth, to really connect with the individuals who are still looking for a solution that the big players are not providing. And that's where small companies come in, being able to quickly harness that story behind the leadership, the technology that we all have access to, with ChatGPT and all the other technologies, is really helps you accelerate what you're doing. So the combination of what the leaders stands for, the product, and then also that technology is really what I help a lot of leaders kind of make sense of and harness to really set themselves out in the market. And that's what I do. And that's what I find exciting. And that's what I'm here to share with the rest of with everyone here. So if anyone wants to work with us, my company is the Brand Sensei. And you could look at the brandsensei.co/prowess. And I've put some resources together that people could really tap into to use on their own, or contact us if you need some help kind of navigating that, moving quicker.
I love the name, the sensei part, right? Because you're disciplined.
Yes.
Oh. He's over there laughing because he knows where I'm going, right?
Highest martial artist. Look at that. He's like, sensei. Oh, you got me on the sensei word.
It's about that discipline, right? That brings the. Sorry, go ahead.
No. When we consider discipline, focus, that word means so much. And even my name, Sifu, is not. People think that's my name. That's just my title. It's like sensei, but in Chinese, right? And it's the focus, it's the dedication. And I love the fact that you put that in the Brand Sensei .co prowess, right? Because when we think about your dedication to your clients, to your customers, for the branding, there is so much focus that we actually have to take into account. So would you mind telling us how you differentiate yourself from others?
Sure. So one of the key things that we do, and the reason why we even chose the name, the Brand Sensei, for our company, is that we do have a methodology. So we're not, when we partner up with different companies, whether they're large and they have big budgets or small budgets, and they're just doing, they're just trying to make this space in the world, what they get from us is a strategic process, a 4-step strategic process that we've seen work for all the big players and even small and growing brands, right? It's a 4-step process that we call the smarter brand process. And we systematically combine that process that we've seen work with our knowledge of the technologies. I've been in the technology space and brand building space for over 20 years. So I've seen many technologies from websites when they first started in the .com boom, all the way to crypto, and then also even as we talk now to AI, even in its infancy, when it was 10 years ago in its infancy, where I was working with a company called Party City, which some people might have heard of. So in the infancy there, but really that combination of the expertise, obviously, that I've been in the space for a while, but the strategy, the stringent process that we have combined with that technology, that's how we see that we're able to help our partners accelerate. And it's not for everyone. Some folks just want to kind of do things the way they are right now. And unfortunately, the world is changing really quickly. And, those folks are really going to kind of hit a wall at some point. But for those brands that are ambitious and want to do things quickly and want to tap into a refined process, and also the technologies that accelerates that process, that's where we come in, and we're happy to work with any companies that are willing to move quickly and see results in where a year ago you could have to do 3 to 6 months before you see the impact that you're making with your audience or even in your sales revenue. We're starting to see with the acceleration of AI and the inclusion of AI with our process, we're starting to see the impact happen in weeks. And I think that's exciting it's definitely exciting for us, and it's been exciting for the clients that we work with.
I love it. I mean, AI it's revolutionizing the way we do so much. Mm-hmm. There was an artist, I was driving today, there was an artist and they played his song and they said that it wasn't actually his song. And he came on and he said, this is what's happening with AI. So they're trying to push for a bill so that they use the Elvis effect, right? So I don't know what the acronym stands for, but don't copy their likeness, their body, their language, their footprint, all these different things, their name. But when you consider AI has come such full circle and so quick, it can really adapt to so many things. And so do we stay in the background or do we actually learn how to engage with it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you have to engage with AI on some level. Now, I say that, but I also understand that not everyone's a techie or marketing, enthusiastic about marketing as I am, right? That's my superpower. That's what I bring to the table. Other people are focused on specific industries or specific things that they want to see, specific ways that they want to work with. But what I say is that you definitely have to pay attention to technologies like AI and start testing it out. Let's get familiar with it. with the help of someone like myself and our team at the Brand Sensei. But then really harnessing that in a systematic way is really where you're going to see those results and that impact. You don't have to read all the magazines. You don't have to, tool away on ChatGPT unless that's what you want to do with your Fridays. I know, Jose, you're not with your 5 kids and all the things going on. Maybe that's not where you want to spend your time, right? But again, a lot of business leaders, they're really trying to make sure that the product is sound, that they have an impact with the communities that they're working with. And that's where we come in. We help demystify those technologies like AI, demystify what it is, but then also we help make sure that you're using it to your benefit, but you're not chasing the technology. The technology is not leading you. You're using it as an enabler to really amplify and optimize what you are currently doing. And that's the system that we've built, that before even AI came aboard, we're doing that with crypto and metaverse and even social media and such as different technologies are adapted. But really, at the end of the day, the system of how you build a business with sound strategies and specific tactics and channels and audiences, those are the things that regardless of the technology and environment, they work at all times.
Love it. Love it. Great insight, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
That's
Do
phenomenal.
you guys have any questions for you, Kofi?
Yeah, Kofi, I was curious, when talking about branding, and you've been doing this for a long time, what is something you see that most companies get wrong the most about branding? Where are they missing the mark? Something that sticks out to you.
What sticks out to me a lot of times is that when people think of branding, they think of the logo or the colors. And they think that, well, I have a great product. All I have to, from a brand perspective, I just have to slap on a logo and some nice colors, and I have a brand. And nothing could be further from the truth, because you'll realize that as your product matures and you try to reach out to different markets, you realize that it really is a brand encompasses all the things that I mentioned. What your brand, your ethos, and this is within our smarter brand process. What your brand stands for, the essence, the different ways that it's coming through visually, but then also the experience. That's also part of your brand, right? How are you interacting with customers? How are you bringing them on board? How are you working with them? Those kinds of things. That all comes out to the brand. Something like Nike, for instance, people are familiar with that. You think of the Nike check. And that's where people think, oh, that's the Nike brand. But we all know that at the end of the day, Nike stands for athleticism, overcoming obstacles, like those kinds of things. That's actually what you're buying from Nike. It's not just the shoes or the check on the products. So if you want to be like Nike or Amazon or all these kind of guys that I've worked with in the past, like PUMA, then you work with someone like me, and we bring something. We help facilitate that and shape that in a faster way.
I love that.
Nice.
That's excellent. Well, thank you. Sorry, I'm losing my voice on Sunday from Tennessee, so we're still getting through some things. But that was fantastic. The Brand Sensei. Let's give Kofi a round of applause virtually here. That was really, really fun.
Thank you for
information. We're glad to have you. Very, very insightful. So I'm sure we'll be connected for sure. And we're gonna keep it moving to our next speaker now. We have another person that's I'm excited to introduce. I've known this gentleman for quite some time, and he is what I would classify as a winner. And we know birds of a feather flock together. So Sifu Raphael is a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. He's helped tons of people in the martial arts industry, very successful school owner, and a serial entrepreneur. He's a founder and host of 4 different unique podcasts and shows that he does live. Coaching Call, which is where he brings coaches and trainers from all different backgrounds in sports, martial arts, fitness, business, management. I mean, you name it, relationships. He also has Heroes Rising, which is a show that I co-host here with him, where we bring in 2 coaches that are featured just about 2 times a month, which we have 2 amazing gentlemen here today. The Sear Show, where he brings the world together from New York to Queensland, Australia, every Tuesday morning at 4:30 a.m. Talk about bright and early. And then, of course, his latest show, the New Tip Daily, which is Monday through Friday, where he brings on all kinds of things with topics like business, family, mindset, fitness, and health. And I believe he has another one too with Dr. Andrea. So this guy is just moving and shaking, creating massive impact in the world. And he's a giver, he's a servant leader, and I'm just honored to introduce Sifu Raphael. The floor is yours.
Thank you, my friend. You know, one of the things, and I really enjoyed what Kofi came out and helped us understand a little bit about what he does. And one of the things is that is definitely take action. But what I want to talk to you guys today about is to slow it. What do I mean by that? Well, Jose mentioned that I have 4 shows and another one. I have 5, and we're actually going to be launching a 6th one. But here's the thing. I didn't do it overnight. I'm not an overnight success, and I'm very far from success. We will talk about my success 300 years from now, not today. So taking it slow. And what I encourage people to do is to smell the roses, to enjoy the moment. Jose has 5 children. He was changing diapers earlier. I remember like it was yesterday changing my kids' diapers. And man, I remember their little feet. Now they have huge feet, right? But their little feet. And when you consider slowing it down, for a child, if you tell them, we're going to go to Disney next week in 7 days, oh my God, that's an eternity. What happens to us when we get older? We're going next week. Oh my God, that's around the corner. I got to do this. I got to do that. But we forget. We should go back to our childhood a little bit and slow it down and just enjoy the process. A lot of business people, don't get me wrong, sometimes you have to act fast because otherwise you're going to lose an opportunity. But with opportunities, remember, sometimes if you act too fast, it may be the wrong opportunity for you. So when I mean slow it down, you can slow it down in your mind. Instead of acting in a split second, maybe you take a minute, right? If it's a New York minute, that's really an hour, right? So a lot of times when people say, oh no, it's seafood time, that means we're going to really look at the situation. We're going to take a look at every angle, everything that's happening. How do we do it? Why do we do it? So when you slow things down, when I decided to do my first podcast, and everybody says, I jump out of a plane without a parachute. I figure it on the way down. I build my parachute. I take my shirt off, all these things, my belt, and I create a parachute. That's cool. But guess what? Sometimes you're going to crash that way. So when you take it slow and you do your research, you evaluate everything that you have to put into either a business, a relationship, anything of that nature. That's what I think has to truly happen for all of us as leaders, everyday leaders. We need to assess, and you have to assess with time. Now, like I said earlier, sometimes you have to run. You have to take super fast action. Then other times, it is best to slow it down. So it took me 9 months before I did my first show. Why did it take me so long? Because I was doing research. I was calling and reaching out to a lot of my friends who are experts in different areas. And I have so many friends in all realms. I have people who are friends of mine who are celebrities, people who are stunt people who own different kinds of businesses, coaches in the UFC, fighters in the UFC. So I have all these different friends. And what I needed to do is to make sure that what I was going to do, that they wanted to be part of it. So I didn't rush to do it. As of today, I've probably interviewed over 800 guests who are all coaches from all modalities of coaching. And coaching to me is so profound. Let me ask you guys, who was your first coach? You can answer. Who was your first coach? I'm gonna get off this stage and bring it back. You guys, do me a favor. Tell me, who was your first coach that you recall? Kofi?
Oh, I'll say my first coach, and this is probably cliche, was my dad.
Nice.
And the reason why is that, as I mentioned, kind of moving from West Africa, moving within West Africa and then moving to the States as a child, like just kind of the shock and kind of that adjustment period was really tough for us. And really, he coached us through, because he'd always go up first, right? And then he'll bring the family, and so it's that kind of way. Some of us who are immigrants, we understand that. But yeah, he coached just kind of like both how he moved around, but then also the words that imparted about how to adapt to different situations was really what I bring to me to this day when we move around, and then also to my practice as well. So yeah, 100%.
Nice. And Rob, who was your first coach?
The first coach that really comes to mind was a wrestling coach that I had in elementary school. Mr. Baranek. I can't remember. Maybe it was Tim Baranek, but he was a really, really humble guy and a really smart guy. And at the same time, looking back at like just when I was young at that age, I looked up to him like on a certain level, right? But looking back at the situation that I knew that he was in as I got older, it's amazing the things that he was going through in his personal life that did not bleed over into his wrestling coaching life. So the older I got and the more I got to know him, it was kind of fascinating to know that he was going through some really hard things in his life that he did not let affect the level of coaching that he was doing for us when we were wrestling. He had as I got older, I had much more respect for him just as a human being, but he's somebody who really sticks out to me.
Nice. Jose, your first coach?
Outside of my parents, because they were definitely coaches, I would second what Kofi said, but outside of that, I would say Dr. Leonard George. Dr. Leonard and his wife, Arlene, they were both doctors, actually. I was in Amway at the age of 18. I started Amway, and they kind of were the ones who helped mold my concept of what it is to be successful in the world of finances, right? And they said they outside of my parents, they planted and cemented the entrepreneurial bug in me, right? The spirit of entrepreneurship and what it takes to thrive and survive in the world, and how to think differently and how to be outside of what everybody else is. So they were really, really instrumental initially in my life.
Beautiful. When we consider coaches, sometimes we always, for the most part, most of us, we always go to somebody who helped us, who affected us in a positive way. But I want to share with you guys that because I've been able to slow down, I've learned to accept the people that hurt me the most as my coaches as well. So profound, but I would never have been able to do that unless I was able to slow down and think about the lessons they gave me. Yes, they hurt me. Man, I would never want to go through it again, but the lessons there were huge. And a lot of it is because I learned to slow down, to process that, to communicate with myself. I want to share with you guys something that communication has truly shaped my life from very, very early on, from probably the age of 3. And let me share this with you. This is something that's happening very soon. And by the way, every one of these guys is going to be in it. So take a look.
Welcome to Speaking Prowess, where we believe in the power of communication to transform lives. If you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, then mark your calendars for April 5th, because we've got something special for you. We have a lineup of some of the most influential communication experts in the industry. These are the voices that will guide you on a journey to enhance your ability to connect, influence, and succeed. At Speaking Prowess, our mission is clear: to empower you through effective communication. We know that mastering the art of communication isn't just about what you say. It's about how you say it and the impact it has on every aspect of your life. So take action now. Join us on April 5th and unlock your full speaking potential. Reserve your spot today and get ready to embark on a journey towards personal and professional growth. See you at the masterclass on April 5th.
Yeah, powerful stuff. I got to tell you guys, for me, communication, slowing down is truly, truly what allowed me to understand so much. It has impacted my life in so many ways, and it's the communication that I was able to have with myself in order to be able to even forgive those people who hurt me. And when you consider your life, don't always look to the future, but remember where you came from, right? It's every detail of our lives makes us who we are today. Every one of these people on this panel, from Kofi to Rob to Jose to myself, we are who we are today because of the people who have shaped us, either for good or bad. And it's the decisions that we made to take it that way. I wanna just let you guys know that I am beyond thrilled that you guys decided to be here with us today. So, what I want to say is, when you think about your life, who in your life has helped and shaped you? Jose, stage is yours, my friend.
Wonderful, powerful stuff. And I'm excited for April 5th. I can't wait. That's going to be an awesome event. Make sure you get your seat, folks. In terms of our next speaker today, I'm excited. This guy is a mover and shaker as well. A great friend. Rob Wentz is a Christian entrepreneur, founder of the Unstuck movement on all social and podcast platforms, best-selling author, social media marketer and strategist, award-winning radio personality, speaker, and influencer. For over 20 years, Rob has been connecting and engaging with people in various forms of broadcasting. And may I add, also an amazing CLA member. This guy, Rob Wentz, is phenomenal. You're going to really, really enjoy him today. So get out your notepads and pens, lean forward. Rob Wentz, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jose. Really appreciate that. And I appreciate your friendship, and really cool to be here. Sifu Raphael, thank you so much for having me here. Kofi, so nice to meet you. And you know what you were talking about earlier, Raphael, really hit me at this whole slowing down concept, and something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, because I'm sure we've all probably read the book Deep Work, and making sure we're taking the time to do deep work on very important things for us in our lives, pausing, getting away from all the noise. Like as we're doing this right now, I've got 3 monitors in front of me, plus my phone, right? There's so many screens and so much information coming at us all the time. How can we get deep work really done? And I have a mentor. His name's Ray. So Ray's been a coach as long as I've been alive. And Ray and I met. We meet every week. We met a couple of weeks ago, and he had a very unusual way about him this day. He was not acting like his normal self. And he came to me with just a question. And the simple question was, what if we got it all wrong? So I'm like, you've been a mentor for me now for 5 years, helped me through so many different things, personally and professionally. And now you're sitting down with me as somebody, he's been a multimillionaire, extremely successful throughout his life. He's in his 80s now, and he's saying to me, what if we got it all wrong? So I had to just kind of pause for a minute and gather what are you talking about? How could you have gotten this thing wrong? But as he started to explain himself, it made a lot of sense. And it goes back to this whole slowing down concept, because most of our life, we end up living our life from our head and not from our heart. We end up living our life out of our ego and what can we get and the success that we can have, and not reframing things from a different point of view. And it actually fed into a dream that I had a couple of years ago. I had this dream back in 2021 where I was in the car with my grandma. She had passed away. But in the dream, I'm driving with her. She's driving and she's holding my hand. And as we're going over a bridge, she leans over while driving, gives me a hug, and says, "Don't worry about where we're going. Don't worry about where we're going. Just love me." And I'm like, "Graham, you're gonna wreck the car. What is happening right now?" And she says, "Don't worry about where you're going. Just love people." And that message like had a really profound effect on me, because I can always be so concerned about where I'm going and how am I succeeding next? What am I doing next? What's the next thing? And getting myself caught up in that, right? And forgetting about the people in my life, personally and professionally, like the people that are close to me in my personal life, but the people I also work with professionally, and how am I treating them as people? Am I looking at them as people, or am I looking at them as dollar signs or opportunity or whatever that might be? And that dream comes back to me all the time. And so it came up again. See, if it was, you were talking about this slowing down concept, it's like, man, I need to make sure I keep myself in check. I want to make sure that we slow down and that we spend more time getting to know each other, which is one of the reasons I love conversations like this. One of the reasons that I do the Unstuck Movement podcast, getting to know people on a really personal level, to understand those breakthroughs, to understand the breakthroughs that take us to a whole nother level in our life. Because anytime that we get stuck, there's something personally that we can overcome in those moments, a limiting belief or something that's keeping us there. And if we can find the breakthrough strategies that help take us past that stuck point, we're going to reveal like more of our true self, more of who we were created to be. So I love being able to find those breakthroughs for me, understand there's a strategy behind having a breakthrough, and the situation might look different, but the ways to find those breakthroughs are often the same. We can develop a strategy and a process that will help us to create these breakthroughs in our lives. And that's been so true for me. And it just fires me up hearing those stories from other people of how they found those incredible moments where they got past limits they didn't think, and they really couldn't even perceive they could surpass. And when they got past those, how did that create a new version of themselves? Because I felt, for most of the time, for me growing up, going back to the whole coach concept, I didn't feel like I had that many coaches in my life. And I also felt like there was a version of me that was kind of like trapped inside of me. Like there was a version of me that I wasn't able to get out. And I wasn't able to have that breakthrough of like, how do I get this me out? So I spent 20 years in radio broadcasting, right? I spent 20 years on the radio. And the first 10 years, I was being who I thought I was supposed to be. The more I realized that I was just faking it. And if I keep faking it, then it's never going to really connect with the audience how I want it to. The more I learned how to just be myself and bring the true me out into the world, it was so much more accepted, and it was so much more celebrated, and I had so much more success by doing that. And so I look at that concept all the time. Like, how can I spend time with myself doing deep work to be more of me? And how can I help people find those breakthroughs for themselves so they're more in alignment with who they were truly created to be? I hate the thought that we could go through our entire life and never really figure out, like, who was I actually being this entire time? Was I being me, or was I being who my parents wanted me to be, who my friends wanted me to be, who the world wanted me to be? And that's a really delicate balance that we can ride all the time, of like going back and forth between these characters that we play. The more we can be in our heart in these things, and the less we can be in our head about these things, the more progress we're going to make. And so when I go back to the concept of like, what if we got it all wrong? If I can focus more of my time, how am I serving other people? How am I helping them? And how am I getting them to achieve these breakthroughs and helping them to learn that process? The more I grow, the more they grow, and the more everybody involved around them grows, because everybody grows who's connected to you from you growing. And I love that concept. If I can be more out of my head and more in my heart, then I'm going to create those breakthrough moments that need to happen. And I'm not going to remain stuck in who I think I'm supposed to be. And I'm going to figure out more of who I was really created to be, and that I've been trying to bring out of myself this entire time. And just the confidence that comes along with that is so incredible, right? The power to do springs from the confidence that you can. The power to actually do the things you want to do springs from that confidence. And me personally, I can't be confident in what I'm doing unless I know that I'm in it, that it's actually me that's in it, that it's coming from my heart and not from my head. And then I'm coming from a place that I really want to serve and help people and help them achieve their full potential. So in any situation, just like today, we're having conversations like this where we're all growing together. And I know people who are watching this are getting valuable information that maybe they needed to hear specifically for today, for something specific that they're going through. That gives me all the reason to do what I'm doing, because I absolutely love that. I absolutely love the thought that one person might be impacted by something that I could put out there, and that ripple effect could keep going beyond me and beyond them. And who knows how far that ripple effect could possibly go. That's the kind of breakthrough that I love to be able to have and give to other people on a daily basis.
That's so powerful. You know, I'm still thinking about your grandma hugging you in your dream. And what I gathered is that even in our dreams, we have fear. Your fear was that she was going to crash the car, but she told you, don't fear, just love. And to me, man, that is so powerful, because a lot of us, we fear to love. We fear to show someone, hey, you know what? I'm just like you. I'm not better than you. We're amazing, but we can do it together. So thank you for sharing that. That was really powerful.
You know, I think something with that too. You're welcome. And thank you for taking something from it. Cause I feel like also in that it was like being okay, being vulnerable, right? If I'm always worried about where I'm going, then I can kind of distract myself. But if I have to break it down to like really connecting with people, that means I have to be more vulnerable with myself and with others. And that's another thing that I really got from that I need to spend time concentrating on that, because it was something that I was lacking in myself.
Wow. Yeah, really appreciate you sharing that. And what did you guys get from that? Just curious.
Yeah, Rob, I really love that, what you're talking about, and it definitely resonated with me. Particularly that part where you talked about not being distracted and deep work and sitting quietly. And so I have a question. You know, a lot of us are exposed to media. You went on Facebook, where we're distracted all the time, right? But to your point, we kind of need that space. How do we get over the discomfort? Right? Some people actually have physical discomforts with sitting by themselves and being quiet and thinking. Like what is some ways that you've kind of helped people kind of get past that, or maybe even embrace that, maybe?
Yeah, just it has to be in a setting that you're obviously comfortable with, that you're familiar with, that brings a lot of peace to you. So it depends on the situation, because it can happen in so many different ways. But the way I've been doing it recently is, I mean, I'm literally sitting down. I have a couch in my basement, and I just have a notepad, and I'm just kind of just sitting there processing through stuff. And especially when it comes to bigger ideas, I'm just kind of just sitting there and just working through them. But as far as the discomfort, to be able to like defeat that discomfort, if you keep yourself focused on something that's truly interesting to you, right? Or something that's just, so if it's just meditation where you're just kind of letting everything go, then that discomfort is something you just have to get used to. But if it's a situation where I'm thinking about something very specific, that keeps me from wanting to move, or to want to send my to want to get up, to want to turn something on or distract myself. It's like I have a very specific thing here that I'm very interested in getting to the bottom of. And so for me to get to the bottom of it, I have to really focus on it and spend time with it. And if I'm going to spend time with it and I'm going to focus on it, then I can't, like, discomfort's not really an option, because my brain's focused on this thing and figuring this thing out. So I think stepping into it with a very specific intention in mind of something you want to solve or something that you want to go deeper on helps you from getting trapped in that discomfort. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I love that. Yeah, I love that. It's like you have to step into it, step in and, and you see what comes out the other end.
Yeah, very,
very,
go ahead.
Well, I was talking to one of the guys I was working with the other day, and he loves to learn, right? So continuous learning. He's always learning something new. And we were talking about how can this be a gift and a curse? Continuous learning, what a wonderful thing. I always want to learn something new. But we talked about the curse side of that, to where you're just learning surface level things all the time. So he might have so much information about a topic, but it's all on just this surface level. And it's like, it's almost like mental masturbation at some point. Like, I'm just excited to learn more things about this thing, but I'm not going deep on the thing that I need to go deep on. And so we got into this discussion, which was really important, because it was like, man, I love to learn, but I need to go deeper into it and not just broadly about it. And I think that's where we can get, that's what the internet does, right? You can learn a billion different things about one thing, but what about sitting down and focusing on that one thing and getting really serious about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I was just going to quickly say, Rob, first of all, that was amazing. Great job. And thank you for sharing that. I love the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. And I can't tell you how many times I've given out that book from my personal library, right? I think I've handed that book out like 10 times. and I'm all about deep work. I do that quite a bit on a daily basis. So yeah, well said. Thank you.
How do you do it, Jose? What does your deep work look like?
So morning routine, it's built into the front end of my day. It's just, I have 2 hours, completely undistracted time. And then of course I have the gym hour, but that's really just me and my pen and my pad, and I'm working on projects. And it's also kind of like intertwined with personal project time, which I talk about in my book that you can pick up today for just, I'm just kidding.
Great plug.
Segue.
With that saying, let me plug Jose for a minute, right? Before we actually talk about Jose, take a look at this.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
I got to tell you, I was thrilled when Jose said, yes, I want to be your co-host. And we've had so many amazing episodes. And I think this one is also going down in the books as another one, because we have two great guests with us. But let me tell you a little bit about Jose Escobar. He's an award-winning, nationally recognized personal development speaker. He says 9 times. I'm going to go 50 times. Published author. He is doing so much. He has over 25 years as a sales professional, is a husband to, we said it before, 5 children. And yes, he does change diapers, and he's good at it. So anybody in the neighborhood, when you need diaper change, I'm just kidding. But Jose is an exceptional husband and father. He leads compelling high-level communities consisting of entrepreneurs and advanced leaders through 2 multi-6-figure business models. And you just saw the commercial for that. The Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy, which I am part of, and I know Rob Z is, and I think Kofi will be soon. So Jose is exceptional in his presentations, where he has reached audiences collectively over 30 million and radiates throughout his dynamic coaching programs, inspiring his international 300+ entrepreneurs and executive clientele to master their personal, professional excellence. What can I say? Jose lives what he teaches. he's not going to tell you about something, but he's not doing it. He actually, when he shares something, he does it. So Jose, my friend, the stage is yours.
Thank you. That was amazing, and excited to be here with all of you. I'm going to give you as much as I can in 10 minutes, fast and furious. So if you're a note taker, I hope you're ready, because I'm going to give you some insights in terms of some strategies that I've used. And there's no official title for my talk, but if I had to give it one, I would say 5 ways to move the needle financially in your business today, right? If I had to give it a title. And it's interesting because Sifu Raphael was like, yeah, Jose is the husband to 5. I was like, is he about to say 5 wives? I'm assuming he meant to say the father to 5 kids, but he said that he's the husband to 5 children. I was like, okay, good. He said children, not wives. All right. So yeah, first of all, there's a few updates. I got to update my videos and stuff like that. The Connected Leaders Academy, as we speak today, is 367 members. We're in 44 states, 19 countries. I'm a 10-time published author as of yesterday, and I have 5 other co-authorships in the pipeline that will launch this year. So it'll be 16 very soon, like Ric Flair, 16-time world champion. Just kidding. Now, and part of what I'm saying here is not to toot my own horn, because for some people that's like, well, that's cool, but it's actually the strategy behind what I do. And I'm going to reveal a little bit of my strategy with you guys today as to why it even makes sense for me to say 16-time published author. There's a method to my madness. Everything I do is very intentional. And I think in order for us to be successful in life and in business, you have to be intentional. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing and not just do. You know how many people in business just do things because they think it's the right thing to do, but they have no idea why they're doing it. And there's no intention behind it. They're just doing it. Oh, I should probably get on stages. Let me speak. But why? Let me get into an anthology, into a co-authorship. Let me be a 3-time published author. Why? Right? Let me launch a course or a program. Why? You got to ask yourself these why questions. Why are you doing what you're doing? Now, for those of you who might be watching me for the first time ever, I want you to go check out connectedleadersacademy.com. Also the one that's on the page right now, theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. But if you want to learn more about my community of entrepreneurs globally, it's connectedleadersacademy.com. And also, if you're just catching me for the first time ever today, and my goal is that you're not, because my goal is to be in front of everybody's face as often as possible. So if you don't know me, I'm not doing my job. Right. And Kofi didn't know me, so clearly I'm not doing my job. But listen, something that you should know about me, and I'm prefacing this to say this on purpose so that when I say the next 5 things, it'll land with you a little bit better, is that I built a 7-figure business in 15 months organically. Right? When I say organically, I mean no website, no paid ads, no funnels, no AI, no automation, no high-level tech, no CRM, no email list or email marketing campaigns. No nothing. It was just word-of-mouth organic growth. And I tell you that specifically because if I don't tell you that, you're going to hear me. If I do tell you that, what I say right now, you're probably going to lean forward a little bit more and take a little bit more notes, right? Because you know that what I'm saying has produced something. What I'm saying is exactly what I have done. It is not a theory. It is not a concept or something I heard from somebody or regurgitating information. It is something that I have done and I'm actively doing. So I'm going to give you in the next 7 minutes 5 very fast points on what you can do today to move the needle in your business financially through basic things. Number 1 is the importance of showing up on social media daily. That is the lowest hanging fruit, to show up on social media daily without any paid ads, Google ads, any kind of paid anything. It is you just show up every single day. I recommend, and there's people out there, gurus and experts that would bluntly disagree with me in the courtroom and say, Jose, there's a better way. And that's okay. I'm telling you what worked for me and what continues to work for me. Show up on social media 2 to 3 times a day with various posts. Share experts that are out there. Share their content, right? Share their content, like The Rock, for example. If you see The Rock posted something powerful, share it and then give your own perspective on it. Leverage other people's authority. Go on 2 apps. I recommend an app called Unsplash, where you can get royalty-free pictures, and then you download that picture onto your phone, and from there you go into the app called Typorama, and on that app you would then upload your logo onto that particular piece, and you would create a quote or some kind of cool thing that's your own unique digital flyer that you created, and do that. And then I would also say maybe pictures of yourself reading a book, right? Or going for a run, or at the gym, or drinking a protein shake, whatever it is. You're just constantly showing up on social media 2 to 3 times a day, posting consistently. And you're doing 1 reel, 1 live, and 1 story. If you do these 2 to 3 posts a day, 1 story, 1 reel, 1 live, every single day, Monday through Saturday. I don't do that Sundays, but if you do that every single day, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be impossible for people not to see you. You're going to be juicing up the algorithms on social media aggressively, and people are going to see you. And don't show up as your business. Show up as you. Show up as Sifu Raphael. Show up as Rob Wentz. Show up as Kofi Annan. Show up as Marianne Pageant or Sharon Thomas. Show up as you, because people do business with you. They don't do business with your business, right? They want to know, what is this person about? If you go on my social media, you're going to find I post on my spiritual life, my family, my health and wellness, right? Positive mental attitude stuff, encouragement, business, strategy. That's what you're going to find. And people connect with that. And when they connect with that, then they're interested in learning more about your business. So that's one thing I will say. So show up every single day. And when you do a live, don't feel like you got to go live for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's what YouTube is for. People show up on YouTube because they're prepared to sit down and watch that long. On Facebook, they're just scrolling. And if they stop on you, they might catch you for 2 minutes, if you're lucky. So keep it short and tight. I'd say 2 to 5 minutes max on lives. And then the next thing I wanted to mention is attend live events. You have to be getting in the rooms. If you're a coach, author, speaker, you definitely need to be in the rooms. You got to go to physical, live, in-person events. It is critical to your success in business. I go to events because I network, because I learn. Can I tell you something? I'm still a white belt in business, and I will always be a white belt in business. We never arrive. You have to have that lifelong learner white belt mentality. Because once you think that, oh, I'm a black belt, 2nd degree in business, well, guess what? You're going to start to absorb less and less. You're going to start to say, I don't need to go to that room because I already learned a lot. I already know enough. Well, if you've arrived and you're not interested in growing, then sure, you might be right. But if you're still looking to grow, and I think we all are, guess what? You got to get yourself in the rooms still. You got to have a healthy ego. The inflated ego is not the kind of person I want to do business with. I want to do business with healthy egos, people that understand there's more learning, more growing, more connections to make, more impact to create. And those people get in the rooms, and they pay for tickets to go to live events because they understand the value of what's there. Now, I leverage every single event I go to. I speak on average once a week, 75% on physical in-person stages, 25% on virtual stages, but I speak consistently. And when you show up as a speaker at an event, guess what? When you convert the room, you convert at a much higher level, because now you have the authority because they saw you speak. That's a strategy in itself. Now, in addition to that, I want to mention that if you are not on stage and you're not speaking at events, the question is, how many events have you gone to? Because people are like, oh, well, I'm not a speaker at an event, so that, that's easy for you to say. Well, if you're not a speaker at an event, you haven't gone to enough events. Because you go to enough events, eventually end up being a speaker. And if you've gone to enough events and you're still not a speaker, can I tell you something? Ask. Just ask to get on the stage. It is amazing what can happen when you say, hey, you know what, Rob? I appreciate you, man. I value you. You're an amazing entrepreneur. I see that you're creating stages for folks. Based on what I do and what I know that you create in your audience, I can tell you right now, I could add so much value to your audience. I would love to be a speaker on your stage. You let me know when you're ready to make that happen, and I'll be first in line, ready to step up. I will put somebody like that on my stage any day of the week. Then, that's passionate, that's hungry, that's eager, and of course can back it up. Number 3 is write a book. Get a book out there into the world. If you don't have a book, write a book. In today's age with ChatGPT, you can do it so fast in a day. And then get it professionally edited, tweak it, do whatever you got to do, and get a book out there into the world and sell it every day. It's amazing. People write a book and they never sell it after like the first 90 days of launching it. Don't write a book to collect dust. Write a book for the intention to get into more stages, on more stages, and to sell more courses and programs. And if you write a book, can I tell you something? Don't make the book 80% lead magnet, 20% value. If you read my book, it's 80% nuts and bolts and 20 or 15% call to action. So write a book that's going to just change people's lives. Oh, and by the way, you should do business with me too. It's kind of sprinkled in there. So get a book out there. Number 4 is get into anthologies. I'm in 9 anthologies that have already been published and are out in the world right now. I'm a part of 5 others that will launch this year. That'll make me a 16-time published author. And let me tell you this, when I tell somebody I'm a 16-time published author, they just listen more intently. And it's not just about being in the books, it's about how are you leveraging the books? Because every single book that I get into usually is an influencer. And those people usually have a network of people that I don't know. And they usually have fancy titles that I like international bestseller. So I could say I'm a best-selling author, or I could say I'm a 10-time award-winning best-selling published author. It just sounds better. And then when I'm in the mix of the book, what do? I access their audience and I leverage their titles, and then I convert at a high level. And authors in that book end up where? You guessed it, in the Connected Leaders Academy. People that are authors in that book, I end up accessing their network, and each one of those authors knows about 250 entrepreneurs that I don't know. It's called taprooting. And guess where those people end up? In the Connected Leaders Academy. There is a strategy and a piece of madness to everything that I do. There's a purpose for it. I don't get into books just for the sake of stroking my ego and say I'm in another book. It's because it leads to business and it leads to more authority. And I'm going to end with this, and I can keep going, but I'm going to, not go overboard here. Get on podcasts. Such low-hanging fruit. Get on podcasts. That's what we're doing here today. Rob and Kofi are here right now. They're exposing their information and their expertise and their wisdom and authority to more people. Rob has a podcast. I've been on his show before. Kofi, if you have a podcast, put me on. But you see what I'm saying? You got to do that, because what that does is it opens up another world to more brand recognition, more leads, referrals, clients, and it just gets you out there even more. And if you're talking to somebody on a one-on-one call and you know they have a podcast and they haven't invited you to be on their podcast, what should you do? Can anybody answer that question? Ask. Just ask. It's amazing what can happen when you ask people. I'm too good to ask. I want them to ask me. Forget about that. That's ego. That's pride. Just ask. Rob, listen, brother, I've known you for a little while. I know what you're about. You know what I'm about. I know for a fact I could add so much value to your audience. I would love to be a guest on your show. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. You tell me. Oh, as a matter of fact, I was thinking of asking you. Well, I'm glad I said something. Send me a link. Let's make it happen. It's called bumping the line. And you bump the line by asking and being proactive. So don't be idle. Bump the line. Start seeking new ways and strategies to grow your business by way of showing up daily on social media, attending live events at every opportunity, writing a book, and if you already have one, proactively sell it every single day. Get on in more anthologies with the intention of leveraging that on purpose. And of course, get on more podcasts. Those are 5 basic things. There's more, but those are 5 basic things that I do that leads to tremendous success in business. I hope that was helpful.
Incredible, incredibly helpful. You know, one of the things that Jose is actually having an event, and I know he didn't talk about it, May 5th, right?
May 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, around that time. And you can find that at the Connected Leaders Academy as well. And the CLA, tell us about the website, Jose.
Yeah, just go to claglobalsummit.com. claglobalsummit.com, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th here in Maryland. 3 celebrity keynote speakers, banquet dinner, gala, award ceremony, live entertainment, cocktail hour, networking, hors d'oeuvres, tremendous speakers, amazing room. I'm telling you, this is going to be a game-changing event. Hundreds of entrepreneurs from all over the world and all around the country are going to be here in one room for one weekend, about a little close to 40 days away from now. So if you want to be in the room, there's general admission, VIP, and platinum. Reach out to me directly if you want information, or go to the website, claglobalsummit.com. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. You know, one of the things that, thank you, Jose, for having me. I'm going to be on your stage as well.
You will.
But before then, we're having an event here in New York, April 19th and 20th, and all of these guys are going to be there. Who is going to come to that event? We're going to have more information on that coming up soon. But I want to thank you guys for not only showing up, and you know, one thing we can never get back is your time. So thank you for everybody who's watching. Thank you to G Kofi and Rob Z. You guys are incredible, because I know how valuable your time is. And that's one thing we can never get back. So thank you for giving us your time and how valuable we know it is. And what can I say? You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
Great time.
All right. Don't forget, guys, April 5th, we have our next show here. But also, we're going to have a masterclass happening. And remember the masterclass. It's going to be from 2:30 to 5:30. So, and we're going to have Heroes Rising at 1 o'clock. So what a packed day we're going to have. I'm super excited. Everybody make sure to tell someone you love them today, because it's a short life. Let's make it a beautiful one, guys. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.